Hey guys, it's Staffles here. Today I'm going to be making a teleportation pad where if you step on this part, you get teleported to that part, just like this. So yeah, let's get into the tutorial. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do when making your teleportation pad is to actually make the pad. So this can be however you guys want it. You know, you could even make it just like a wall that you step into. So if you want to make like a little door, you could make the transparency like 0.50 and then you could just like walk into there and teleport. But for me, I want to make a pad, so I'm just going to add a little part to the floor, scale it down a little, make it a bit bigger, just like that. Might as well make the color green, don't want to make it blend in with the floor, like that. And then, if you want to get fancy, you could add in like a little border. This is really just your preference, so you guys can do it however you want, but depends on what type of game you guys are making. So I'm just gonna rotate this. By the way, when you guys are building, I recommend having your movement on. Make sure in the model tab right here, make sure your move has a check mark next to it, and it's on 0.5 studs. That's my personal favorite. And then your rotate could be on 5 degrees. Those just give you exact movements. So I'm just gonna make that here. And I'm gonna press Control D to duplicate it. And then I just move the duplicated copy over here. Now we have a little pad. So now what we want to do is actually anchor it, because if we were to play right now, it would fall apart if we stepped on it. So what you want to do is you can just click and hold, drag over everything, everything's collected. You want to go up into you can just do it in the model tab, press anchor, or you could also do Alt A, and then see anchors turned on. Since you have all of them selected, they will all be anchored. Then you want to group this, or you don't have to, but it just makes the Explorer a little bit less confusing. So just press Control plus G, just Control and G, and then you have your model. So now if you go inside this model, it has all your parts. Also, if you move the model, it will move the entire thing. So you want to rename the model. I would just make it like teleportation pad. And then we are just going to go inside of the teleportation pad, and we're going to scroll through each one of these. We're going to find the actual part where you want to step on. So for example, if you wanted to step on this part, the green part in the middle, and have them teleport, you want to find that part and then just rename it to teleport part, just like that. Now we want to make our part that we are going to get teleported to. So your target, let's say you wanted to teleport a player in between maps, you would make the teleportation target in the other map. So I'm just going to make mine over here about. Just going to make it lined up, and then I'm just going to scale it. You don't really have to scale it, doesn't really matter. I recommend making it small though, just to avoid any issues. You also want to get it a little bit elevated off the ground, because a bug that can happen is that the character will just get teleported to the ground, and obviously you don't want that. So yeah, once you have it, if you don't want your player to see it, go in your properties tab, find the transparency, or you can search it up right here, and then you just want to make it 1. See, now it's invisible. Another thing you want to do is, of course, go in the model tab and press anchor. Now it won't fall, but this is a very important step. Find can collide in the properties and make sure that is not checked. Basically what that does is it makes it so that your character or your player cannot bump into it and cannot move around. That's a good thing to have. So now I would rename it by right clicking on it and just pressing rename. And then I would just rename it to, name it to teleport target. So now that you guys have those things set up, make sure you just have your teleportation pad and your teleport target and the area you want the player to be teleported to. Now we're going to start actually scripting. Okay guys, so once you have the script in the part, you want to go inside of the script and we're going to actually define the part because we don't know that yet. So we're going to say local teleportation part. Make sure when you're defining a variable that it's one word, and by the way, local is what you say before you define a variable. We're going to put an equal, and then we're just going to say script. The script is obviously the script dot parent. So we're saying script dot parent. That's the parent of the script. The script is the child. This is the parent. Now we also would want to define, you guys don't necessarily have to define these, but it makes it a lot easier, it makes it simpler, cleaner scripts, less problems. So we want to say local teleportation target, which obviously that's the teleportation target. Again, locals to define something. We're going to put an equal sign, and then we're going to say game. Game is just it's the parent of everything. Dot workspace. That's the game is the parent of workspace, so workspace. Dot and then teleport target. See? Now, what we want to do here is we want to take the teleportation part, because that's the part that we want to know if it gets touched, and we're going to say dot touched. Now, another thing, guys, if you want to know how I'm getting it like automatically filled in, like this, if I just type in T, it already comes up. If you press tab on your keyboard, it'll fill in for you. That's a very good tip. It saves a lot of time. So you want to get when it's touched, and then you want to put a colon, and then you'll see either connect or wait. You want to do connect, and then put 2 parentheses after that connect, and then we're going to put a function inside of that. So once it gets touched, it's going to connect a function. Delete the front parenthesis on that function and put 2 parentheses just like this. 1 parenthesis here and 2 parentheses right here, and then press enter at the end, and then an end should come up for you. What you want to do here now is, oh wait, one thing guys, is right in here in the function right here, this is where your parameters are. Parameters are with a function, so it takes from this event right here, the touched event, that has parameters that it will set for you. So it makes variables for you basically. So the touched event can give you a parameter. The first parameter will always be the object that actually touched it. So if we put in here object, then this variable right here is whatever touches this part. So we want to say if object dot parent find first child, put in quotation marks inside the parentheses of find first child, humanoid. I know this may be confusing, I'll explain it in a moment. Then, so this is an if statement. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure to go check that out. But we're saying if the object, I just explained the object is, it's a parameter of this function which is connected to this event, where the parameter is saying like the object is whatever touched the green part right here, which is the teleportation part. We want to take that object and we're going to look at the parent of the object. For example, if the human touches it, and let's say their foot touches it, well, you're not going to find their humanoid inside their foot, so you want to make sure you have their parent. And then you want to find first child. Find first child is, remember how I was explaining how the script is the child of teleport part? Well, you're going to go on the parent of the leg, and then you want to find a child called humanoid. Humanoid, it only appears on players. Well, you can put it in other stuff, but that's for another time. It only appears on players. So this if statement is checking if it's a player, because you don't want, let's say you have a car that touches it. You don't want to get the car to teleport. So you want to check if it's a player. And then if that's true, then, and then whatever is in here will happen. So what we want to do is we're going to take object, and then we're going to go in its parent, and then we're going to also do another find first child. But this time we're going to be finding the humanoid root part. Now, let me explain this for a second. So we're finding the object, we're looking at the parent of it. We're going to find the child called humanoid root part. Now, Roblox has two animation types. Right here, sorry about that. It has two animation types. It has R6 and R15. And if you're playing in R15, your characters actually have different parts. It has more parts. For example, upper left arm. And R6 only has just arm. So you need to find something that's in both. And in both, there's humanoid root part. So that's why you want to always use humanoid root part. And then we're taking that part, and then we're changing its position by going inside of it and saying dot position. Then we're just putting in an equal. And then remember how we defined the teleportation target? We're just going to say teleportation target dot position. Just like that. So now, let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm in my game, I'm just going to touch it. And as you can see, I'm teleported to my target. So that is how you make a teleportation target in Roblox Studio in 2021. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you liked the video. Subscribing really motivates me, please do that. But even liking, or just viewing the video, it means a lot to me. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, and remember, stay developing.